This tutorial explains how to remove rows with NaN values from a data frame using the R programming language. So without too much talk, let's dive into the R code. In this video I will show you several examples, and all of these examples are based on the data frame that we can create with lines 2 to 4 of the code. So if you run these lines of code, you can see at the top right of RStudio that a new data frame object is appearing, which is called data, and we can print this data frame to the bottom in the RStudio console by running line 5 of the code. And then you can see that our data contains 5 rows and 3 columns, which are called x1, x2, and x3. And each of these columns contains NaN values. Now let's assume that we want to remove all rows with at least one NaN value. Then we can apply the code that you can see in line 7. And in this line of code, I'm applying the na.omit function to our data frame. And then I'm storing the output of this in a new data set, which is called data1. So if you run line 7 of the code, you can see at the top right of RStudio that a new data frame object is appearing, which is called data1. And we can print this data frame to the bottom in the RStudio console. And then you can see that we have created a subset of our original input data frame. And this subset contains only those rows where none of the values is NaN. Alternatively to the na.omit function, we can also apply the complete.cases function, as you can see in line 10 of the code. So in this line of code, I'm creating a subset of our data set using square brackets. And within the square brackets, I'm applying the complete.cases function to our data set. And then once again, I'm storing the output of this in another data frame, which is called data2. So if you run line 10 of the code, you can see at the top right of RStudio that another data frame is appearing, which is called data2. And if we print this data set to the RStudio console by running line 11 of the code, you can see that this code has created exactly the same output as our previous example. However, this time we have used the complete.cases function. A third alternative that I want to show you is illustrated in line 13 of the code. So in this line of code, I'm using the rowSums, the apply, and the is.nan functions. And then I'm again storing the output of this in a new data set, which we call data3. So if you run line 13 of the code, you can see at the top right of RStudio that another data frame is appearing, and we can print this data frame to the RStudio console by running line 14 of the code. And then you can see that once again we have created a subset of our input data frame, which contains only the rows without NaN values. That's all I wanted to explain in this video. In case you want to learn more on this topic, you may check out my homepage, statisticsglobe.com, because on my homepage I have recently published a tutorial in which I'm explaining the content of this video in some more detail. I will put a link to this tutorial into the description of the video, so you can find it there. If you have liked this video, or if you have any questions, let me know in the comments section below. I'll try to respond to all comments as soon as I can. Furthermore, make sure to subscribe to my YouTube channel to get notified about future video releases. I have already published about 500 videos on this channel, and I'm releasing new videos on a daily basis. Thanks a lot for watching. See you in the next video.